Hey y'all, Simply It's Logical here, and welcome back to the channel. Either way, thank y'all for joining me for today's video where we are going to be going over September's dev diary for Prehistoric Kingdom. We do these every month, and this month is no difference. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, to start us off, it says, Welcome to the September Development Diary. This month's blog post will primarily focus on providing a work-in-progress look at the upcoming Vivarium exhibits coming in Update 16. We also have news on Update 15.1, as well as an announcement that Prehistoric Kingdom is currently part of the Steam Autumn Sale. So make sure to go grab the game for 30% off before the sale ends October 6th. So if you're watching this when it comes out, which should be October 4th, you have 2 days to go get Prehistoric Kingdom for 30% off. Moving on to the state of development, it says in September, the team found themselves working on 2 updates at once. The Update 15 support patch and Update 16. This was an interesting act to juggle since a few of us had to continually jump back and forth throughout the month depending on what other team members needed. While this did lead to the support patch taking a bit longer to cook, the good news is that we're already making steady progress on Update 16. Once Update 15.1 goes out, it'll be our sole focus for the next few months. Speaking of, Update 15.1 will be coming to the PTB, which is the Players Test Beta, this Thursday on the 2nd of October. So if you're currently watching this video, the PTB has already gone out, which is the beta version of this update, meaning you can currently play this update in the beta version. So to note that there may be some bugs and some stuff because the update hasn't fully launched yet to the public. It's just part of the player test beta. So if you have Prehistoric Kingdom right now and you want to play the update early, you can play the PTB if you choose to. Moving on, it says, if there are no major issues with the build, we'll be releasing it to the main branch on Steam and Epic as soon as possible. The headlining feature for this update is the long-awaited Head IK, or Look Target system, allowing animals to finally look at each other while roaming, resting, or idling. To work across all of our animals and seamless growth, this has been a massive engineering project requiring months of iteration. We will continue to improve this feature as time goes on, but it certainly makes the animals feel more lively seeing them glance at one another. Next up, we've managed to sneak in grazing animations for most herbivores in the game. Like other idle fidgets, these animations have a chance to play when the animals come to a stop or are simply standing around. Delicious. Finally, the threatened behaviors seen during nesting have now been made into a regular AI state. This means that as animals encounter potential threats, they'll try to roar at them, scare them off, or run away if they've been threatened themselves. This is an area of the game that we're really looking forward to expanding once we get to combat in Update 17. And that seems very promising. The fact that they're wanting to add combat and like actual fighting seems pretty good. Moving on to Update 16. As detailed last month, Update 16 will be another massive release focused on fleshing out your park and management opportunities. To start off development, we've been laying the foundation for Vivariums and replacing all of the outdated code that relates to the mini aviary. Though still very early in development, we're pleased to have a functioning prototype that broadly outlines their customization and revised animal movement system. As new assets and components are finished over the next few months, these modules are going to start looking really, really nice. So with that said, you're about to see a lot of early development imagery. And then, of course, it talks about the vivariums. Vivarium species will be found in the animal nursery alongside the rest of the roster. Here, players can filter specifically for vivarium animals or even make use of the customization tools to override their variation and random mutations. There's also a handy drop down you can use to see how many animals will fit into a certain vivarium size. And that alone is makes me happy because now we don't have to do any math or anything like that. It's just it tells us depending on the size of vivarium you want to use. Once created, they'll have to be dropped into their habitat from the animal holder. Keepers will need to stock and clean their vivarium by interacting with the hatch in the back. Currently, there are 4 different sizes to choose from: the box, which is a 4x4x4, the small size, which is a 4x8x4, a medium, which is 8x12x6, and a large, which is a 12x16x8. Now, I am gonna say that I am a little upset that the sizes are so big. I would like to see like a 1x2, like a 2x2, like smaller sizes as well. But I am happy that I'm not too mad about this, and I'll get to why later as we go through the vivariums and stuff. But I do wish we did have some smaller sizes. Each of these can be configured to use an amphibious, arboreal, or terrestrial layout, meaning there are 12 total modules to pick from. They work just like the feeders, so if you don't currently have an animal inside, you can change the configuration to something else. All vivariums will have detailed terrain, rocks, and foliage when they're finished. Speaking of animals, you'll be happy to hear that they only have a minimum exhibit size. This means that while you might not be able to put compies in the 4x4 box, they'll be more than happy in the small, medium, or large versions. The bigger the vivarium is, the more individuals you'll be able to keep inside. Exterior customization. Players can quickly change the front, sides, and roof of a vivarium through their modular widget. There are options to use glass, mesh, facades, cladding, half cladding, and even a null setting for those who want to go totally custom or sink it into the ground. If you want even more customization, you can also edit all the sides independently by enabling a toggle in the menu. And so that, because you have the null option, that's why I'm not too upset about the sizes being the sizes that they are. But I would still like to see some smaller sizes, but I can live with it. As for things like the terrain textures, cladding, and facades, those will change depending on what environment you've set the vivarium to. Whether it's arid, forest, or rainforest, we'll talk about this more in detail once the art is ready for a future dev diary. So, probably next month or maybe 2 months from now, even. Walking with tiny dinosaurs. When setting out to create vivariums, we knew we had to evolve the movement system previously seen in our mini aviary. It relied entirely on a long pre-made animation loop, which made it difficult to transfer to new species or to simply make more animals move at the same time. For the new system, we're essentially building a network of points that the animals can randomly move between. They're able to take diverging paths, backtrack, and play a variety of adorable fidgets when they stop at a destination. How long they walk for is also random. There's quite a lot we need to do before the locomotion is polished, but hopefully you can see the potential of this new system in the video that you are currently watching. We'll be aiming to reduce sliding as much as possible and dynamically behind the neck tails as they turn. And this basically, they're just making the exhibit animals more like the regular, like habitat animals, where they can kind of walk and do things on their own and they're not all basically gonna be in the same loop. Animals within a vivarium will either be placed onto the movement network or in isolated spots where they'll permanently rest, sleep, or fidget until the player moves away. All the animals will be randomly shuffled into new positions once the player comes back. So basically, it's this that is kind of like and the exhibits in Planet Zoo where you'll go and the snake will be at the top of the habits of the exhibit one time and then you leave, you come back and it's at the bottom. So it seems as if it moves, but when you're sitting there, it doesn't really move unless you sit there for a long time. But if the animal but with this, once you are when you're currently viewing the exhibit, the animals will be actively moving around. So it's not just stagnant animals all the time. They will be currently moving when you're actively viewing it. For something more active like the Microraptor, we can determine what paths should make them walk, glide, or climb. All that information can instantly be reused by something like the Archaeopteryx or the Yi, I think is how you pronounce it, as long as they have the required animations. It's a much easier solution for us to work with, and it means we can one, have more animals moving around at once. Two, add or remove paths depending on what enrichment is enabled. And three, develop vivarium species faster by sharing spline paths. It then goes on to say we are incredibly excited to keep working on this system to use it to its full potential. It'll only look better and better as we go. And then this does say that there is more to come in the future dev diary in a future dev diary, we'll be exploring some of the enrichment and interior customization options coming to Vivariums in update 16. So basically, you will have more enrichment and customization options inside of the exhibit. So it won't just be all the exhibits look the same. You can kind of change them to look different. And then the last part of the dev diary is the roadmap change. Since the last blog post, we've decided to move Staff Progression 2.0 into Update 17. While this will not only ease some of the short-term development workload, there are other changes and improvements we'd like to make to the experience surrounding staff and logistics as a whole. Some notable examples include adding break rooms and new management views to see the park resource usage and where various staff members are located throughout the park. So basically, with the staff progression 2.0, what they want to do is they want to take it, move it to a separate update for a separate time and add onto it. So we're not getting it right now, but we will get it at some point, but it'll have more things attached to it, which I'm okay with. But anyways, that is all for this week's Dev Diary. It was a bit of a short one, mainly talking about the vivariums, which I am really excited to see how those look in the game. And I'm excited to see how they develop as the game progresses. But anyways, that's all I have for y'all this week. And next week, I think we have a Planet Zoo build next week. So make sure you leave a like, a subscribe, and everything. That way you can be notified when next week's video comes out so you can watch our Planet Zoo build that I'm working on. Well, I already built it. I found footage that I had recorded several months ago and just never made the video for it. But I have the video for it, and I am currently working on another video for Planet Zoo. So Planet Zoo is coming back to our games that we play on the channel. It never left. I just needed a break from it. But it's coming back, and Prehistoric Kingdom will probably be following it not too long after. Anyways, again, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff, and I will talk to you on the next one. Bye, guys.